everyone, it's Dr. Ryan Simmons again, and I'm an industrial organizational psychologist. I just wanted to go ahead and share something with you guys that happened in the last couple of weeks. I'm currently working on a contract job, and I do get recruiters that'll contact me about other jobs that are happening, and they say, we really like your experience. Let's try to have a chat. So I got one in the last couple of weeks, and it just made me laugh because it went on to say, it looks like you're a good fit. This person actually said that it looks like you have an amazing career and it's fantastic, and using all these adjectives that I would not use to describe my own career because I know what it took to get there. Something that really made me laugh in that was the fact that I don't show any of my failures. And it's so funny to me because I make such a big deal about learning to fail well. And failure is one of those things that I don't think we talk about enough, because to be a success, you have to fail more times than you succeed. And while you might not frame your failures as a failure, it might just be a learning experience, or however you really want to describe it. It doesn't matter. It's a failure. And failures are actually a positive thing. The way I describe this to people, if you are failing, you need to see it as some sort of success. The best way to put it is framing it like you would if you were competing in judo or jujitsu. Because in those two different martial arts, you have a way of bringing somebody down to the ground. And just because they're down doesn't mean they're out. It's one of the few areas where you actually can go ahead and still earn points from the bottom. You can have your back on the ground and somebody can be on top of you, ready to put you into some kind of lock or hold, and you can still earn points from the bottom. I think that way with my career, and I hope everybody thinks that way with their career, where just because you're down, it doesn't mean that you can't get something out of it. And I think the cliche is very true that you learn more from your failures than you do from your successes, because you didn't know what you didn't know, or you didn't know how to apply things in a certain way. And now you've earned that experience. I definitely say you earned that experience, not just that you learned it. You had the time in, you've experienced it, and now you can go ahead and apply it in a different way because the last one didn't work. This is why we say that experience is so important outside of education. Education will get you part of the way. It'll help you get beyond the learning curve. It'll make it smaller. It's more like a speed bump. After that, it's up to you to go ahead and experience. That's where failing can actually be a positive. When it comes to really embracing the suck, the failure, however you want to call it, it's very important to be lenient with yourself. I know that there are times where I've been very unsuccessful, where I've just beat myself up about it. And because I was beating myself up about it, I kind of fell into this spiral of behaviors that really wasn't helping me try to reframe the conversation in my head. And what I ended up doing was making sure that I noted the things I was doing wrong. And I really did know and was hyper aware of the things I was doing wrong. So I was able to note that, address it, so that I could start having a better conversation. And sometimes that meant actually having a real conversation. I'd reach out to people and say, hey, I have this problem. I've been experiencing this situation. What's your advice? Because I can't see past it. So one, be lenient with yourself. Know that failure is an option, and sometimes it's a good option. And you don't think of it that way all the time, but sometimes it is. The other thing we need to do, accept failure to the point where you seek it out. Now, not everyone wants to seek out failure, and I don't blame you. It's not fun. necessarily, but this is a way where you can kind of make a game out of it. If you're embracing the failure, you know that you're probably not going to do your best and you may not get things successfully completed. That's not a problem. In fact, you do more innovating when you know you're probably not going to succeed. Some of my best half-baked ideas have been turned around into great ideas because I engaged somebody. I knew I was going to fail. It doesn't matter. I said, I have gaps. I need help to fill these gaps. And the ideas worked better. I know there are a lot of people out searching for jobs right now. The one thing I do when I'm searching for a job is I don't necessarily worry too much if I'm just a little off of the job description, because sometimes they're looking for more than what they're actually saying. The other thing that I do is I aim high. I try to find something that is maybe just a little out of my range, and I apply to it just so I can hear some feedback. And I'm sorry to all the recruiters out there who have to listen to me, but it's something that pushes me. And we all need something that helps drive us, especially if we're failing, because you don't feel like you're getting anywhere. Next week, a little off topic here, I will be going to the ATD conference in Washington, D.C., since it is in my backyard. So hopefully I'll have a couple of things to film there, and I'll go ahead and do some editing and bring it back to you guys. Until then, if you like what you heard, go ahead and like and subscribe. And please do put down in the comments anything that's related to this, any failures that you've had that you've now seen as successes or have driven you forward would really be helpful. So thanks, guys, and we'll talk to you next week.